Time for some domination. This is going to be a 2v2 multiplayer battle, me playing as Kislev, allied with a Khorne army, playing against Tzeentch and Slaanesh. And this is a battle from my stream yesterday with some of our top players from the community. And it was on the day of release of Warhammer 3 as well, so everybody's new, everybody's still figuring everything out, so we're all just kind of diving in, messing around really. We all know how to play Total War, but we've all got a lot to learn. Now, my main starting army is very bear heavy, shall we say. I've got two lots of war bear riders, with Kislev also on a bear. I brought him along to mostly go around with the bears so he can be part of the little bear party, and they can all go on a bear hunt to try and catch anything large, lords, monsters, cavalry. I've also got Tor's Battle Hymn to give them a big melee attack boost if they do get into those fights, and Solyak's Lullaby to heal them up to help keep them alive a little better. But it doesn't stop there, as I do also have two cats, a couple of snow leopards, also anti-large, so very anti-large little party I'm coming out with. Is this a good idea for domination? I have no idea. As I say, we're all just figuring stuff out, so it's going to take a while for everyone to find out what the best kind of starting armies are. Should it be lots of infantry? Should it be more mobility with cavalry? Should it be anti-large stuff? As for my ally, he's got some infantry. He's got two heroes straight from the Legion of Doom, the Cultist of Khorne. He's probably got the Bloodletter summon ability with those, so he can get 2 units of Bloodletters with that. And for his lord, he's got the Exalted Bloodthirster, big damage dealer, very mobile, but can't capture any points as he's flying. Also has a couple of units of Furies and some Doggos, so a bit of disruption power. Although flying units, of course, can't capture points, but they can still be very, very useful. As for our enemies, Slaanesh Seeker Chariots, it's still up in the air whether these are any good or not. It seems like they're a little underpowered at the moment, or maybe we just haven't figured out how to use them properly yet. His lord is an Rest. There's also some blue horrors from the Tzeentch side. Some marauders in here, more chariots, lots more chariots, more marauders. Pink horrors over here for Tzeentch. So a mixture of fairly cheap infantry and chariots at the moment, although some ranged power, of course, from all those horrors. Over the other side, though, bringing down their left flank. A bunch more horrors and the Hellstriders for Slaanesh, very fast cavalry, can do some serious damage. They are anti-large as well. There's also a Tzeentch Soul Grinder here. Big damage dealer potential from that. We're going to have to watch out for that. Maybe my bears will try and take it down. And that's our starting armies, pretty much. Of course, we will be spawning things in as we go. We've got 3 minutes to wait before the points unlock. Khorne posturing around the center point, ready to take that left side point as well. I'm kind of moving around. I see there's a lot of cavalry coming down this right side, so I'm kind of moving over there to be ready to battle it if I need to, but it looks like there's a lot of stuff. At this point, it felt like they had a lot of numbers over us, because I have quite a small little starting army, as does Khorne, so it felt like we were quite outnumbered at this point. So I move closer to my ally, so that we have a little bit of support for each other, but I feel very aware that that cav is coming around that right flank and maybe trying to come up behind me. And there's a lot of their infantry moving into the center now, some blue horrors there. I'm going to try and stop them from firing in a minute. This cav is moving around as I suspected, so I am kind of aware of this. I know it's coming. I'm not going to play into it yet. I'm just going to leave my bears over this way, because that is a fight I want. Bears versus Hellstriders. Going to bring this charge in, mostly just to stop these blue horrors from firing. Then we're going to get out of there, and this is where we're going to come and hit that big charge on the enemy cav. My cav is anti-large, so is theirs. These Hellstriders are anti-large, but my bear cav is just way tougher. He knows this. He gets the hell out of there. He tries to get his flank in, but we go and meet him, push him back for now. They're 100 speed, means I'm never going to catch them with my bears, so I have to just push him away for now. Can't really pursue him. It's a bit pointless. The chariots charging through all the Khorne infantry, messing them up a little bit. On this side, though, Doggos and Bloodthirster getting after some blue horrors, trying to get rid of them, doing some good damage. Also got some Furies just harassing some of those blue horrors. They do decent damage, though, so they can really put some hurt on. The Slaanesh cavalry, though, again tried that flank, but I summoned up some extra cavalry, these winged hussars. And I think that kind of forced him to try and sneak through the center rather than going back the way he came, which meant my bears could finally get some paws on them a little bit. My ally holding the center with his infantry. There is a lot of Slaanesh infantry as well, though. Demonettes going in, or not. Thought they were going to get that rear charge. They're going to come and rear charge me instead. My bears now properly throwing down with all those Hellstriders. I've got Kislev in there, though. You can see I've given them the melee attack buff, and I'm going to give them that heal in a second, too. Here he comes. Get a little closer, drop the heal. There we go, Solyak's Lullaby. Heal up my bears while they fight. Should be able to win this fight. There are some blue horrors firing at us, though, so I'm going to go and disrupt those. Don't want to sit there just taking their damage. Hellstrider's going to get a little flank on us, though. Although it's not too bad, as they don't have devastating flanker, I don't think. Turning into a little bit of a blob over there for me, though, so I've got to be careful. Always a risk of some big spell coming and just ruining everything for me. Doggo's getting after the pink horrors. My ally does have a lot of doggos throughout this battle, as you will notice. Now, the enemy is going to try and take point number 1 with their infantry, and they actually already have point number 2 and nearly point number 3. So they are taking control early in this one. We haven't really captured anything. I've got some Streltsy, though, that I intended to come down here and take out these and to try and take this point. But some Slaanesh chariots had other ideas for me. Luckily, my Khorne ally has let the dogs out, so they're all over those chariots. It really saves me pretty well, actually, because his mass has stopped them from charging forward into my Streltsy. He's also got a bunch more flyers, I think. Still, the blob ensues over here. See, because everything is faster than me on Slaanesh, I can't really escape the blob, so I have to just try and fight through it. There is a burning chariot up there, trying to roast some of my bears. Again, these blue horrors starting to fire, though. I'm going to send stuff after them, try to get rid of them. But I'm mostly out of the blob. We've mostly defeated that Slaanesh cavalry with the bears, so they've done some good work. Albeit there, just kicked a little blue horror over. Poor little fella, getting punted by a bear. That's not a good day. Either way, my bears and cats are still alive, but they have taken a fair beating, so not in the best of conditions. We've got to start working to taking some of these points off the enemy, though. But there's no big rush. You kind of get some time early on, so we don't have to worry too much. Taking care of the chariots over here. The doggos munched them down. I think my Streltsy might have shot them a little bit, but they've helped my Streltsy survive there. So we've got to take these points off the enemy. As you can see, they've started to get some points on the board. They got 700 points. We have 0 points. So we've got to try and start to take these points. Otherwise, we will lose. But there isn't a desperate hurry. There is kind of a strategy to losing early, apparently, people are finding. So if you're losing early, it's not a huge deal, and there's a good chance that the enemy has expended a lot of his power to take all those points so early that he won't be able to hold on as the battle wears on. But we'll have to see how those kind of things go. Might be different for different factions and things like that. Some Doom Knights coming in, some Slaanesh Marauders, the Exalted Bloodthirster getting stuck in to try and claim this first middle point. My ally also got some infantry coming into this middle point. There's a lot of stuff around. There's some Slaanesh fiends in the background. So the middle is busy. Not so much with me. I'm not really doing anything there, but I'm trying to take one of the side points. They've still got point number 1. We're starting to take the middle point just a little bit. My ally getting the work done in the middle. I've brought all of this stuff, though. 3 units of Kossars, armored Kossars, I should say, coming round to try and take this point. I've come with a mission now. I'm going to try and get it done. My ally is also here with some doggos, wearing down those blue horrors. And I've also spawned in a light war sled. So more bears in the army, and they have the intention of going to take this other point, point number 1, which currently just some horrors sit on. We can get rid of those easy enough. My ally also got more Khorne dogs going with the same intention. So we should be able to take these 2 points, and that's really all you need to win the game mode, right? It's domination. All you need to do is hold 2 points for the entire game, and it's guaranteed that you'll win, which is kind of what our enemies have been doing, but with all 3 points. And as you can see, they're nearly halfway to winning. They've nearly got 2,500 points. So we need to look alive, which is what I'm trying to do here, taking this point with a pretty large force that I'm coming with. Going to get a rear charge on these blue horrors with some just about surviving winged lancers. Going to start taking this point now off of Tzeentch. Got some Streltsy in here, got a cat in here. Center being held by my ally now. He's worn down everything that was there, and he is going to start taking this point pretty quick. Just some fiends left, which he's dealing with. Got a few pink horrors popping off some missiles here. But they can fire all they want. They're not going to be able to take the point, which is the important thing right now. My sleds and Khorne doggos munching down stuff over here. There is a burning chariot trying to stop us. But we've got the numbers advantage here. These blue horrors are on their way out as well. My war sleds just chilling out. Just popping little blue horror heads where they can. And they're actually a really powerful missile unit. Armor-piercing missile. They're basically Streltsy in the back of a wagon. So they do a lot of damage, but just kind of slowly over time. On this side, my armored Kossars all came around the corner in a bit of a bunch, which was my mistake, and my enemy is taking good advantage of that with a nice pit of shades that is absolutely ruining all my infantry. So that is hurting me a lot, but my bears are here as well, trying to help out. Kostalton's here too. So my mission is still going. I'm still trying to take this. Well, I actually have taken this point pretty much. We're roughly there. And my ally and me have taken the other 2 points, so now we have all 3 points, and the tables have turned. The enemy's trying to fight us off, though. That big pit of shades did a lot of work. There's some chariots and things, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to fight us off. Some Doom Knights in the center, but of course flying units don't capture the points, so those Doom Knights are mostly useless here. Well, not mostly useless. They obviously can do a lot of damage, but they're not going to capture anything. So I think that's one of the dangers of the Tzeentch army, maybe, is if you come with too many flying units, you kind of have half an army that can't really do anything for actually winning the game mode so much. Even though, of course, taking out units is very important, it is nice to have units that can take out other units and capture the points at the same time, as a lot of that Khorne infantry is doing. Oh, I tried to go and follow the sled, and I accidentally ended up following Kislev. So there he is, walking very slowly, slapping Hellstriders around. But now the heat is on for the enemy. Because we have all the points, they're not gaining any points. So if they at least had 1 point, they'd still be able to maybe maintain their lead enough to get the win. But now that they don't have any points, they are very quickly losing their lead. So going to be important for them to try and turn this around. And I've just got some more winged lancers out and an elemental bear. A nice big tanky unit, can do lots of damage, but mostly this thing is just going to be really hard for the enemy to get rid of. So he should be pretty good for capturing a point. Although it's good to know that in Domination, different units have different capture power. So infantry is the best at capturing points. It captures it faster than other units. But of course infantry is slower, so of course it takes longer to get to the points. And then faster stuff generally has less capture power, like cavalry and monsters, but they can still capture. The only exception is flying units that cannot capture at all, because obviously that would be a bit too easy. But a big mass of craziness in the center, trying to get my hussars into those pink horrors. My bear is throwing down with the soul grinder, trying to get after it. So the soul grinder is chasing the bloodthirster, and my bear is chasing the soul grinder. So there's a bit of a Benny Hill thing going on here. Everyone's chasing everybody. But I'm going to start to focus myself. I'm going to start to try and focus down this soul grinder and get rid of it. It is classed as the Lord of the Tzeentch army because he put his actual Lord in the reinforcements. So that's why it has the Lord star, if you're wondering. Lots of Doom Knights flying around. Still lots of doggos. We still hold this point. The enemy coming over with some cav, though. Although maybe changing his mind. Does have some blood letters there. So they won't be easy to get rid of. Hellstriders look like they were going to go there, but they've changed their mind, perhaps. Maybe going to go for the center point instead. I've got some more winged hussars coming in. My ally got some Chaos Warriors coming in. So Chaos Warriors, great for capturing points. They're super tough. They're a strong holding unit, so they're really one of the perfect infantries for this kind of game mode. Just sitting on points and tanking it out, holding it more so than the enemy. I've taken this point. I've cleared it up just about with a little help from my ally. Going to rout off these final little unit of marauders, and you can see the score now. We've actually pretty much overtaken our enemies, so their lead is now gone. And if they can't take any of these points, they are going to be in trouble. And this is kind of the thing that is kind of taking some time to learn, I think. Nice little sync animation there, if you caught that. Little push from the bear. But it's taken some time, I think, for everybody to kind of get to grips with pacing yourself in this kind of game mode, because you can, like, rush all of your units out as quickly as possible and try to make use of them. But when it gets into the late game, you might find that you've actually just run out of units. And all your units are pretty beaten down, and now you don't have anything to try and push and retake the capture points with. So that's something that I think we're all still feeling out with Domination, is how to properly apply your army, I suppose. And whether a bigger army is better with more units, even though they might be cheaper units, or a smaller, more powerful army, maybe that's better. Obviously, it's probably going to vary with different factions, but there's a lot to figure out. Not only are we all learning armies and how to use them against each other in multiplayer, we now have the kind of aspect of Domination and managing those and the timing that we use of bringing them out and who and when. It's a lot to think about. And it is fun. I do like Domination as a game mode, but I still feel a bit iffy about the ladder and the ranked mode being Domination instead of land battles. I appreciate it fixes a lot of problems, but we really just need to fix people, and then it would probably be a lot better, because any organized community of multiplayer, people will fight fair because they're just decent people that do that. The problem is not necessarily that the game needs to change, it's that people need to change. But of course, that isn't going to happen. So it's just a bit sad, I think, that the fun of land battles has to be compromised and be forced into this. Because as fun as Domination is, it's still very different from land battles, and as I've said before, for me, it's very different from why I ever played Total War. I like organizing a single army and using it as one cohesive force, rather than splitting them up into loads of little forces like I'm doing in Domination, which just feels a little bit more arcadey, I guess. I was trying to use my Streltsy here to blast down that Soul Grinder, but I've been hit by a bunch of spells, which is putting some serious hurt on them. Tzeentch spells coming in all over their poor little faces. It doesn't matter too much, though, as luckily Kislev and the bear have managed to take down the Soul Grinder. That's going to be the Tzeentch Lord gone as well, so that's going to help. Although, I guess, does it really help that much anymore? Do the leadership penalties really matter that much in this kind of game mode? I don't know, because you get a lot of fresh units in, so it's almost like it doesn't matter so much. Anyway, there we go. We managed to get the win. They did take a point or nearly two off us, I think, at the end there, but it was a little too late, and we managed to grab that victory. So good game to all my opponents and to my ally, of course. And there we go. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy watching this game of Domination? Would you rather watch a land battle? I did one the other week. I'll link that right now. check that out if you'd rather. See which one you prefer and let me know. I'm curious to what people enjoy to watch, because obviously I do a lot of it. But there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the